Hello goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. It's an episode of this week's Pipes. I'm still not back to my pipe yet. I've still been coughing all week. I'm much better than I was, but I'm not 100%, so I'm not going there just yet. I'm hoping next week will see me to 100%. That's the fingers crossed. This week, I've been in the workshop all week. I think it's my first full week that I've had back. And I've got a couple of pipes. These are all commissions. But it's nice to have a gander at what people are ordering. This first one's a bit of a curiosity. It'll look normal at first, but I'll explain why. This, for those of you who know my shapes, is a reading pipe. Sort of. The chap that ordered it, David, I think was a fan of the reading pipe bowl shape, but you may not be able to tell. It's not reading pipe length. In fact, it's perfectly normal pipe length. This is just 6 inches long. So it was kind of funny making a reading pipe without like the normal long shank that it normally gets. But blasted really nicely. There was half a moment when I thought this was going to make the most astonishing smooth pipe. It didn't quite happen. Because you can see, look at the tightness of the ring grain. It is just crammed in there. The straight grain behaved really well. See the straight grain flowing down the shank. Simple cordovan sandblast with black stem, just classic. A bit of not crazy plateau, not totally crazy. A touch craggy. 20% craggy. There you go. A short reading pipe. That's quite amusing. Next two are a pair. These are both for Pat in Singapore. Hi, Pat. These will be on their way to you come Monday morning. Actually, these will be the first time you see them because I haven't posted these on Instagram. Haven't had time today. I was just really busy with something I'm going to show you in a minute. So, a blackthorn acorn, really heavily sandblasted. Because like the more texture you can get on these, just the better. And look how fun that is. Really cool. This is a black sandblast, a bit of plateau there, with the Guinness stem. These are fitted for 6mm filter. And actually I thought it would be useful to show you. And when I do the 6mm, I do them to fit the elephant brand, the white elephant. Don't know if you've seen these guys before. These are much easier to drill for than 9mm. These are charcoal filters. They're not just usually when you say people 6mm filters, they think like balsa wood, that triangle balsa wood style. But these are proper charcoal filters, and they don't impact the shape as much, and that's why I prefer. So someone who says, "Can you drill for filter?" Not all shapes, but some shapes can, but only for 6. And the acorn and the strawberry fall into that bracket. I don't think there's any that I do for 9mm, but 6mm is possible. And I like it because it doesn't. These aren't the thinnest shanks ever, but they're not bulky things. And like trying to put a 9mm filter through these, like it does impact the shape overall. Makes these like bottom end heavy, I think. And the 6mm filter stops that having that impact. With the filtering, you don't get quite as much bend. I work as much bend as I can in, but obviously because the filter actually extends reasonably down into the shank by a little bit, more than the tenon from the stem, and so it does straighten it out a little bit, but I still can work in a little bend. And so his acorn paired with might be difficult to pick up the subtle tonal differences here, but this is a Cordovan sandblast. Again, a blackthorn acorn. But the richness of the brown was decided upon. Well, actually, no, Pat wanted a dark brown. We were wondering what to pair it with. Then he saw the flame mosaic resin that I made last week and plumped for that, and I thought that was a great idea. So this is the flame mosaic. And it's pretty darn cool, if I say so myself. It's just great. I think it's just the level of detail that it seems to yield is just very pleasing. As I mentioned last week, it's a 3-colour pour. You can see it's like a deep red, and then you can see the orange, and obviously the yellow. Again, quite a hefty blast on these because they really do want to look craggy and worn away and that kind of thing. So, a pair of blackthorn acorns. Yeah. It's a horrible feeling if you can't quite clear your lungs. I know, it almost sounds like pneumonia. I don't think it is pneumonia. I think it would be in bed if it was pneumonia. But you can tell that yeah. Right. This week, I've been working on, as an extra, a new batch of Herbert West tampers. And they are pretty much done. If you've not seen them before, I've been making these for quite a few years now, but I make them in fits and starts, and this is the only batch I think I've made this year. It features a briar bottom tamper part, bonded with resin. There is a skull mound that is painted and inserted into the bottom, and then the whole thing turned. The tamper is tapered to the bottom and polished. I have 10 of these, just 10, and one of them is actually a second. I'm selling as a second. The skull mound just came over slightly to one side, and so as I turned down, you can just see the top of one of the skulls at the side of the tamper, which is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, someone out there might think of it as a bonus, but it's not what was intended, so I'm going to mark it down as a second. So 9 tampers and 1 at a second price. Yeah, so if you're interested in a tamper, email me at devilsreef@gmail.com, and yeah, there's only 10 of them. That's all I'm going to make for a while, because I'm out of skull mounds. I have to order some more from my friend if I'm going to make any more, and who knows when that might be. But yeah, okay, right, that's it. I think it was all that talking initiating a fit of coughing. All right, I should be back next week, so until then, take it very easy. Your loyal pipe maker.